well, I did get all the seats out, more or less, and let me explain. You'll notice on the left side versus the right, the left side, the bases are all gone. Right side, they are not. That is because initially, I was using electric grinders. I was warned that this one might go, so I was trying to let it rest in between, make sure it wasn't getting hot. When I was done, it was running, shut it off, it was fine, came out, not started at all. This one, I have to assume, is a much lighter weight model. I've used it in the past when I was working on my Beetle, but superficial stuff. I tried to do just 2 of these bolts, and this one here already started smoldering, so I just immediately stopped. I'm going to say it's probably still going to be good if I need it for superficial stuff, but I absolutely cannot use this for a heavy duty. And this is a Sim 115 angle grinder. So if anybody knows what this actually is, made in China. It's great for, like, I'd say superficial stuff, but it's not going to do for heavy duty. So there's my next update. I'll give you a full view from front and back pictures, and we'll go on to the next step. Alright, my next step, all this little minutia stuff you have to do is, before I can start drilling all these rivets out, I've got dome lights, I've got speakers, I've gotten this back one off, so I'm going to work on the next 3. What I have to do is I take the cover off, the screws out, and then I keep a sufficient amount of wire because I don't know if they're going to go back in or not, probably not, but what I also do is, before this part right here, so there's no loose covering the wire, I will take electrical tape and put it right around that. Not that that's any kind of high voltage electricity, but why take the chance of having an exposed wire, you know, shorting out a fuse or anything like that. So this is more of that little stuff areas. I don't know what's behind, but I know I've got to take this off to remove this. And there could be some wiring in there that I need to track. I may not need anymore. One of the things I've learned about solar, if you have too big of a wire, because that's going to draw more power and prematurely drain the batteries. Any wires that I can eliminate, it may not seem like much, but in the larger buses, especially when you have a lot of wiring, that wiring can actually add up to quite a bit of weight over time. So it is a good idea to remove what is not needed. I'm just doing a little more of this little stuff. There was a pad here that was the same in the back, large black pad, so that someone tall walking in and out doesn't hit their head and hurt themselves. They at least have that buffer knife. I already removed that. Now I'm just removing this panel. Alright, so I want to do a little comment about this space up here. For those of you who have already done an RV, you're already aware of this. For those of you who are working on one like I am, space is critical, and utilization of that space is equally critical. So this panel I took off. I'm not going to put this back on. Instead, I'm going to find something that will go up and up like this. Now, this may seem like a very small area, but if I wanted to put spices, if I have gloves that will fit up there, any little pocket, because this could actually be quite a bit of space to line some things across. I'll find something that I need, you know, that's small to take up this space. something that maybe I won't use that much. Alright, this is the next part I'm working on. I kind of need to see what's going on in behind here. This could be used for more space. I don't know yet. But what I need to do is remove these. And I'll be honest with you, I've never done this before. I don't know how this is going to come out. So we'll find out shortly. And of course, one of the screws is going to need a socket. So I'm assuming that somebody must have had this off at one point or another. Probably to get wiring to mount this fan up in here. Well, let's see what happens. I don't know what the heck is holding those in there. I gotta find some way to get those off. Alright, so I have two screws here holding this up, and whatever they were put in, however, it was really strong. I'm not sure. I just didn't have the right tool. I ended up having to get a vice grip. So it is turning, so I'm going to use this to start both sides. This one's all set. Alright, so as you know, for those of you who have already done this, space has to be utilized to its maximum potential. However, sometimes I'm debating whether or not that's going to be worth it, only because this is the front driving area. It's not going to be my living area. And in order to take this piece out, this unit has to come out. This whole side section all the way down has to come out. So I'm debating at this point whether or not to even do anything at all with removing this. And my brother has a suggestion is maybe building out a small shelf in front that can house some things up here. So I think that's, I could change my mind, but I think that is my expectations for right now. And my plan is to leave this and then bring a shelf out, even just a narrow one that will hold some things. I mean, if I really wanted extra spices or anything, you know, extra bathroom items, wipes, whatever, it doesn't have to be that thick. So I'm going to wait and see what I need to use the space for. One thing I can think of is the electronics that I would charge while driving in the front. Maybe all those connections could go up in here in some kind of pockets or shelving unit. So I'm going to wait and see what I'm going to do about that. So on to the next part. That's what I got to figure out. Alright, so I was able to get started and get to the end of the road and check mail. That's the road going to the house. I don't know how long it is really, but... So what do you think, Aunt Claire?
What?
The bus.
What do you want?
You like it?
Yeah, I like a bus.
Don't you want to go back to school?
No. No.
You don't want to stay for detention?
No, I only went as far as the 8th grade and that was it.
It's all you needed to know back then, right?
I went 3 months in high school.
Yeah.
That was it. I quit. I couldn't take it.
Yeah, who needs it, right?
I go to work. I went to work instead. But we had no choice. My mother and father were both sick, so
yeah,
the money had to come in somewheres.
Alright, I did get it started today. It was 45 degrees out, so I'm thinking the cold is also another problem with the starter, and that's why it's giving me some problems. So actually, let's see if I can reach around and get my tripod here. Alright, as you can see, the seats are all out, so I'm going to drive it back to the house.